75 years ago, in March of 1990, hundreds of disabled people descended upon the Capitol to demand that Congress take action on the implementation of the Americans with Disabilities Act. The national leader of the ADAPT organization, Mike Alberger, delivered a powerful message at the base of the steps. He boldly exclaimed that they would not permit these steps to be a barrier to prevent them from the equality that is rightfully ours. After his speech, disabled activists boldly propelled themselves from their wheelchairs and other mobility devices. The Declaration of Independence clutched in their hands as they crawled up the steps to the Capitol. From there, they made their way into the buildings and let their voices be heard. After months of mounting and continuous pressure, the ADA was finally passed. Even though it was not an immediate win, they did not give up. And history remembers the Capitol Crawl is one of the most impactful points in getting the ADA passed. What I have demonstrated here today is in the spirit of all the brave disability rights leaders who have come before me, fought, and paved the way for me to have the opportunity to be here before you all today. One of the things that has kept me going through all of this is disability pride, disabled joy, and remembrance of disability history. Remembrance of the fact that disabled people have historically organized, historically fought back, and we have never given up. Disability rights activists have organized in profound and prolific ways. We have locked our brakes and said that we will not be moved until we are seen, until we are heard. These brave heroes shut down traffic in Manhattan. They engaged in the longest ever takeover and sit-in of a federal building, which is, honestly, it kind of works out. April 5th is the what is that called? Anniversary, there we go. Yeah, it's the anniversary of that beginning. And, you know, it is unfortunate. So often this history is whitewashed, sanitized, or completely erased. This history is erased because it is uncomfortable. It challenges the idea that America was ever great for all of its citizens. And now we see an even more blatant attempt to erase our past, our present, and our future. We are watching in real time as even the mention of disability is scrubbed from government websites and databases. However, disabled people, we have always existed, and we will always continue to exist, and we will not be erased. It saddens me that this administration is looking to dismantle the rights that these disabled heroes fought so viciously for. 17 states have come together to file a court case to rule Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act is unconstitutional. Section 504, one of the first disability rights laws on the books, which prohibits discrimination against disabled people in any place or program that receives federal funding. And now, the Department of Education is under attack. Coincidentally, the very department that oversees the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. The IDEA Act, which entitles disabled people to receive the necessary accommodations to receive an equitable public school education like any other child. This department that is responsible for monitoring and enforcing that these laws are followed may simply cease to exist. They say that it will be up to the states to enforce and handle education, but 17 states have already said that they feel that disabled people getting the bare minimum is too much. These are not isolated attacks. They are deliberate, and they are looking to systematically dismantle our civil rights. Period. This administration is seeking to reverse what little rights and protections we are afforded as disabled people in this country. We are on a fast track backwards, and we cannot afford it. Not when there is still so far to go. Many of you here are older than a disabled person's right to attend public school. I myself am only a few years younger than the ADA. Some of you may even be older than the so-called ugly laws that were present throughout this country, which made it so that it was illegal to be disabled in public. They would lock you up, imprison you in institutions, asylums, wards, where you were tortured and killed, and thrown in unmarked graves. It's unacceptable. Absolutely. This is just a fraction of the unspeakable horrors perpetuated against disabled people in this country. This is not ancient history like some American history books may like you to believe. If you were taught disabled history at all, I know that I wasn't. I was not taught disabled history. I didn't learn about it until college, until I took a disability studies class. And odds are that if you didn't take a class like that, you didn't learn about it. I, as a disabled person, had no idea the struggles that my community faced. All I knew is that there was no one like me anywhere around. I didn't meet someone who looked like me until I was 10 years old. Can you imagine that feeling? So alone. And I was so glad when I found community. Disabled people rock. Disabled people are still constantly battling literal physical barriers to entry. Discrimination. I have a shirt that says fuck stairs. Discrimination in education and employment. Disabled people still do not have marriage equality. We are still not guaranteed a right to the federal minimum wage. It's unacceptable. Yet instead of being able to look forward towards further positive reform, we have to beg, fight, and claw our way to not losing the rights we've already fought for and won. As the great Judy Heumann once said, if I have to feel thankful for an accessible bathroom, when am I ever going to be equal in the community? You cannot wait to care about marginalized communities. They are your neighbors, your community members, but most importantly, they are human beings. You cannot wait to care about disability rights under the false assumption that it will either not happen to you or that there is some kind of magical safety net to catch you when you fall. The reality is you will either die young or you will live long enough to have the privilege of becoming disabled yourself. And even for healthy people, it can happen suddenly at any time. You have to care now. If you wait for it to affect you, it may already be too late. That is why we have to be active allies for each other. We have to listen to disabled and marginalized voices. We must work together to see this through. This will be a long and arduous road. We will feel burnt out. We will feel tired. But we cannot give up, and we cannot give in. Even if it means crawling up these steps that would seek to deny us our freedoms and privileges, we will dust ourselves off and get back up again.